Welcome to another edition of the AsIs podcast. I am your host, Shabazz. How's everybody feeling today? Hopefully, this podcast finds you in the best mental, physical, and spiritual health. Hopefully, this podcast puts a smile on your face. And although I know a smile might be hard to come by today, I still encourage you to have one. Today, I'm going to keep it short, keep it brief. I want to address a couple of things. And I think the things that I am going to address needs to be addressed with honesty. So with that being said, let me start off with my own honesty. I had a terrible, terrible week to start off with. Shit happens. And unfortunately, I was a part of the shit that happened. As a result of that happening and the things that went on privately, I took my ass home. Took a long drive and went back to New York. I said, I need to get back to where there's inspiration. Get back to where there's lights. Get back to where something makes your blood flow, your pump, you're inspired and motivated. Because sometimes you could be in a place mentally and physically to where it's like you losing it all. You feel empty. You don't have the answers. You dig? So sometimes it's best to take yourself outside of that situation and go somewhere else. And that's what I did. Luckily for me, I caught the last 2 days of Fashion Week. I was around a bunch of designers, in circles and crowds that I did not belong, because I am not a fashion designer at all. However, those kind of people motivates me. You understand? It's like having no car and seeing whatever kind of car pass by. You can either be envious of that car, jealous of it, or you can say, if that person can drive that car, so can I. But you have to be willing to work to get that car. So what that translates to me is I had to be willing to work for what I started, for the vision that I have. And sometimes you have to go and be around bigger people who are more secure financially, because they can inspire you to get what you want. Especially when you have the mentality of they aren't better than me, because they're not. Be it white or black. They just have a career or something that accumulates wealth. Those are the people I want to be around, especially at my lowest points. Sometimes you need people to be around you. You just want them to believe in you, because when someone believes in you, it can inspire you to make you push, because it's like you're doing something almost to prove a point, not only just to them, but to yourself as well. I've experienced that, and I experienced that earlier this week. And I think I said that already. But what I really want to touch on outside of that, and what really made me want to touch on it, was I was fortunate enough to be in Brooklyn, right? Now, there was a party being held by a designer, Marc Jacobs. He has a label, Heaven. At this party was Madonna. At this party was Doja Cat. At this party was every wannabe who pretended to be that you could think of, both black and white. And that was okay for me. You want me to tell you why? Because we all had the same vision to make it. You dig? And to make it on different levels. I'm grateful I'm grateful to even have been in the presence of those people. Looking at Madonna is like, I don't know, it's not a sexual attraction. It's just like being in a room with these kind of people says to me that it could be done. Like, dog, you could do the same shit. You just want, you gotta want it. And sometimes it's very important to put yourself inside or around those kind of people. Because when you're around everybody that's depressed, or when you're around everybody that's fucked up, all you're going to be is depressed and fucked up. So you got to get away. Which brings me to this. Before I left, I told you guys I had tapes of Ed Jensen, which I do. I did not put the tapes out. And one of the reasons I didn't put the tapes out is because I felt it was going to be unfair to R. Kelly. I felt like what I would show may hurt R. Kelly's chances of being treated fairly. So because I respected the game, I just didn't put them out. But it brings me back to what I started with you guys. How many people believed me? There's so many niggas that's full of shit that it ain't funny. So I can understand motherfuckers saying, yo, Shabazz, you full of shit. He ain't got no tapes. He ain't got no this. And I'm cool with that. But I am a person to make wrong right. I got the tapes and they gonna come out this weekend. Again, I just did not want to put out something that I thought may have hurt R. Kelly, and people will say, Shabazz, that's your fault. Because coincidentally, one of the charges that he has been found guilty of is a direct reflection of what Ed Jensen's assistant lawyer said on tape. So I played it right. Did you play it right by not believing me? Did you play it right by calling or saying Shabazz is full of shit? Because Shabazz ain't full of shit. Yo, I'm not perfect, but what I do is I strive to correct my imperfections. I strive to correct the wrongs and turn them into rights. Now, let me go into briefly the wrongs that have been turned into wrongers. Jennifer Bonjean lost terribly. A lot of people are not going to agree with that. I get it. A lot of people are going to leave negative comments. I get it. But let me tell you something. And I want you to listen to her yourself. I've seen several posts where she had an after the trial interview. One of the things that she said is she wanted the jury to be mindful during sentencing as she did in New York. And I don't know why she said as she did in New York, because I didn't know she had something to do with New York like that. I thought it was canon. For whatever reason, she said something similar to that. And she wants to know that R. Kelly had a traumatic childhood. Those words alone implies and says that as a result of his tragic childhood, it's possible that he could have committed these acts, so be lenient on him. Because here's how I see it. Tragic childhood or not, if he ain't do nothing, he ain't do nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with his childhood or not. And this is what I don't understand about y'all. I don't understand how people were running around screaming, lock the parents up, lock the parents up. Why would there be a need to lock up the parents if R. Kelly didn't do anything? Y'all are amazing to me. And this is not hate towards R. Kelly, because I've seen the comments. I just stayed away for a couple of days because, again, I had to do what I had to do. But I see the comments and they are ridiculous. The excuses that I hear from people are crazy. Lock up the parents, but R. Kelly is innocent. Everybody else lied, but R. Kelly is innocent. Now, Jennifer Bonjean is saying, take leniency towards my client because he had a traumatic childhood. If that ain't saying he did something, I don't know what is. And I do not understand or see how you guys can't see that. Yo, I am going to maintain and say exactly what I've always said. Guilty or not, if that's your man, that's your man. I know y'all have seen that meme that they have where they took something from Maury and Maury put the girl on the screen and there was a guy and I don't know what the guy did. And Maury Povich asked her, is that your boyfriend? Is this who you're going to be with? And she confidently said, yeah. That's my man, and I'm sticking with him. I could respect that because what she said spoke volumes to me that regardless to if he ain't shit, regardless if he did this or he did that, that is my choice, that is my decision, and that is what I am going to rock with. To everybody else, it might look crazy, but that's confidence. That's belief. That's what I need on my team. And that's the kind of people that I need to be around, regardless to whatever you think about a person or not. If you like that person for what you like that person for, if you are in love with that person for whatever you're in love with that person for, then rock with that, work it out and make it work. And that is a direct thing for R. Kelly. Make it work. If he had these problems, if you know that he has issues, I am not telling you to abandon R. Kelly. I am not telling you to not fight for R. Kelly. But what I am telling you is to be honest with yourself and accept the flaws. Part of the reason, and I want you to understand clearly what I'm saying, part of the reason and part of his sentence will be determined based on the karma that comes as a result of everyone screaming he's not guilty and finding flaws in everything else, because the universe has a funny way of reversing it and hitting you back with it. You dig? I'm going to give you a great example. You got infamous Sylvia with her prayers and her chats, and I think that she's personally a fraud. She threatened, again, my life as well as Dana J's, but she's holding these, interactions with the Lord and all that. But the Lord, he didn't see the same thing that she's seen. So I'm waiting any day for her to abandon and turn her back on the Lord, because that's fake faith. Because if on one hand you champion for God, on one hand you want God to do the right thing before he comes to a decision, but God puts it in the world to go against what you say you believe in, do you now turn on God? Because if he is the all-knowing and the almighty, he did what he wanted to be done, and that was convict R.Kelly. So was it God's fault? Because they managed to point fingers at everybody else, right? So I'm just waiting to hear one of the holy rollers blame this on God, because that's what I'm hearing. At the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe and accept what is true and rock with that. You cannot believe in what you want it to be, and when it doesn't come, now you have no faith. That is not faith. That's fuckery. And it was a whole lot of fuckery in here. And Jennifer Bonjean is one of the people that's with the fuckery. And I am going to go further, because I seen a post that I had to say something to Steve Greenberg. Steve Greenberg congratulated Jennifer Bonjean. Now, be mindful. I don't have a problem with Steve Greenberg, but let me tell you something. I knew from jump, because when Steve Greenberg gave me her contact, that was his peer. That is someone he has a rapport with, a relationship with. So it's not too far-fetched for me to say that they are in bed together. And I don't mean in a sexual manner, but as far as legal peers, they are. So if you guys are anti-Greenberg, but Greenberg is congratulating Jennifer Bonjean, what does that tell you? Like, if you guys can't put together the blatantly obvious things to me, I don't know how to explain anything to you, because bet you $1 to a donut, they talking to each other. And I'm not saying they shouldn't. But if what Greenberg did to make me wonder, said, Jennifer, you did a great job, or he congratulated her law firm, Greenberg is still defending R.Kelly on another case. If you think that Jennifer did well by getting him convicted, it doesn't matter, because I've also seen Dottie use an excuse and say, hey, he didn't get convicted of all the charges. What did she say? He was the 6 out of 7 or 7 out of 6 or whatever. You guys are coming up with excuses. That's crazy to me, because the answer should be he didn't get convicted of anything. To minimize and say, well, he only got convicted of 6 instead of the entire 13 is an enabler. I want you guys to look at enabler behavior. That is an enabler's behavior, because the right answer is he should not have been convicted of anything. And here is why. And I'm going to go make the parallel with Greenberg. If Greenberg believes that Jennifer did a good job and you guys buy into that, psychologically, he is giving you advance warning in the event that he loses, because now he can go back and compare his loss with Jennifer's and he won't feel bad. No, dog. I'm not going for that. Let me tell you what a champion does. Let me tell you what a leader does. Let me tell you what somebody who really believes no matter what does. You accept no loss. It's all or nothing, son. I'm not congratulating you because you lost. I'm not getting up there and say you gave it all you got. Good job. Nigga, that wasn't no good fucking job. You lost. Now get your ass back in the house and train to come back to win. But there will be no congratulations on a loss. Not when a man is walking around with the rest of his life locked up. R.Kelly is running around in court limping. I am not going to make any assumptions, but I can tell you this. It is not a good look for a man to be in jail and come to court limping. You dig? Y'all can take that however you want to, and it's not a shot. It's just the truth. I am going to observe and look at everything because I've been there, and I know what type of injuries come as a result or can be sustained as a result of anything. And one of the things that they teach you in jail, and this doesn't come from the authorities, is you don't tell. He could have legitimately hurt his leg on the basketball court, but I know he ain't playing basketball in population because he already know what it is. He's staying as far away from niggas as he possibly can. So I can eliminate basketball. I can eliminate a lot of things. But whatever the case is, Jennifer Bonjean says that R.Kelly is in good spirits. The man got 30 years. The man is running around limping in jail. You just helped him get anywhere from a range of 10 to 90 more years, and it's up to the judge to whether he wants to run it concurrent or consecutive. And what that means for the record, if they run it concurrent, whatever he's charged with in Chicago will run day for day with New York. So if he gets 20 years, he still has 30 in New York, but they just include the 20 with the 30. If it's consecutive, they add the 20 years on top of the 30. So now he's really doing 50. How are you congratulating that? Like, where do you guys come from? I don't get it. A spade is a spade, is it not? If you lost, you did not do well. Let me say that again. If you lost, you did not do well. And part of the reason why Darryl McDavid won is because he had lawyers who were lawyers. They ain't never got caught up on Twitter. They ain't never got caught up on Instagram. They ain't never told you what they was doing. They just came in and did it. Jennifer Bonjean, on the other hand, wanted to go tit for tat and have a smart, sassy girl black mouth with the defendants on cross-examination. Shorty, this ain't the streets. You wasn't in class. You are what was supposed to be a high-esteemed lawyer. You belittled yourself by trying to be the people's hero. And as a result of the belittlement, somebody got an extra 10 to 90 years, already looking at 30, walking around limping. And you got the nerve to tell people he's in good spirits. Who you think you talking to, lady? Like, let's get real with that. Even if he put out that announcement out of his own mouth, I would be able to tell and say that is for the cameras, because he doesn't want you to think about or know about the pain and the process that he's actually going through, because everybody in jail go through it. He's not special. Ain't no good spirits when you got 30 years and you 52 years old. Get out of here with that. That is a problem within the black community. We do not like to admit to pain. We do not like to admit to being hurt. If you ask someone today, how was your day? The general consensus always answered is, I'm okay. It's rare that people are going to tell you what's really going on. One of the reasons why is because if people really tell you what's going on or how they feel, you're going to look at them as a Debbie Downer. Nobody wants to hear someone else's problems, especially not all the time. But if you have a friend, that's a friend, and that person comes and tells you how they really feel, the way to handle it is to respect them for how they really feel and understand that they are only human. We don't carry it that way. Anytime you ask somebody how you doing, they gonna say, I'm doing all right. You know, goddamn well, a lot of the time they're lying. Their rent might be due. Their wife might be sick. Their mama might be sick. Their children might be sick. They might not have no money. There is a lot of problems that is going on in that person's personal life. But his answer or her answer is, I'm okay. Nigga, you not okay. And what's okay is to say, I'm not okay. You can hit a nigga or see a nigga get hit, and you ask him, are you okay? And he's sitting there bleeding, and he's going to respond, I'm okay. That is a learned human characteristic and trait that is a defense mechanism to throw you off. You dig? Because you do not want to look weak in the eyes of others. That within itself takes away you being human. You needing help. And if you can open up and be honest enough to say, yo, I need help. Yo, I'm hurt. Yo, I'm not all right. We wouldn't have R.Kelly in jail. You think about what the fuck I just said. Because if he could have went to somebody and said, hey, I got a problem. I need help. Somebody could have helped him. But every day R.Kelly woke up and somebody kissed his ass and asked him how he was doing, he say, I'm good. Nigga, you wasn't good. You're not good. And the people that you are trying to impress that you're good in front of ain't worth shit no way, because they really depend on you. So it is more of a burden on those who you talk to help you than it is on yourself, because what they didn't realize that they understand now, that if you're gone, the meal ticket, the bread, the money is gone. See, it's a psyche that none of us really sit down and think about to the fullest. We only face it from face value. I think about shit all the way in between. And that has come with age, because there was a time I was a surface thinker or a surface observer. But guess what? Here's my truth. That shit didn't work. That shit got me locked up a couple of times. That shit brought bad decisions. Because I would be quick to tell you, yo, I'm selling this or I'm doing whatever, because if I don't, somebody else will. I'm not stopping to think about the repercussions and what can come as a result of my actions, because I think I know it all. And I know that I got to pay whoever or pay this bill, and this is the way to do it. As opposed to sitting down and being methodical, plotting and scheming and having a foolproof way to not get yourself in trouble, even if those bills you have to pay are late. Because with the blessings of Allah, with the blessings of God, in time, with time, you will solve the problem. The question is, are you ready to put the time in? We're not. We want instant gratification. That's why R.Kelly is in jail. Jennifer Bonjean wants instant gratification. That's why she had the audacity and nerve to say he's in good spirits. Everybody want to be a hero, but don't nobody realize that in order to be a hero, first you have to start off from a loss and overcome it by working to not be a loser. So being a loser is not a bad thing. As a matter of fact, that is the best example to show someone else how to win, because there was a time I lost. Y'all don't get that. See, y'all niggas don't think that way, because thinking the other way is too much like easy. Every motherfucking body lied. R.Kelly did nothing. Send all of those girls to jail. Send their parents to jail. She's of this, she's of that. Nobody has come up and said, you know what? Regardless to whatever, I'm still rocking with dog, and whatever it takes for us to make this right, this is what we're going to do. This is what we need in the black community. And until y'all understand that, it's going to be more R. Kellys. The other R. Kellys are just going to be the ones that you don't hear about. You ain't got to listen to me, because I'm going through my own shit just like everybody else. What you own, who you are, who you know, that don't mean shit. You understand? I'm standing 5 feet from in front of Madonna. I'm standing 5 feet from in front of Doja Cat. You understand? I'm still who I am, though. My deal ain't get passed around no quicker. I didn't walk away with no more money. You might have got a contact, but because you get a contact, there's no guarantee that that contact is going to do anything for you, because they first must be interested in you enough to even respond back to your black ass. Because at a party, a nigga will give you his number all day. I'm talking about on some business shit. I'm not talking about sexual. I'm not talking about trying to go to a hotel. That's a whole different ball game. And you understand something. This is the mentality that you have to decide which one you're going to use on your way to the party. Are you going to the party to be a meat market? Or are you going to a party because this is business? And I'm going to keep it business because I want to better myself. Y'all don't be trying to hear those type of conversations. You understand? And that's why I say what I say. And I understand people are going to be mad at me. And I understand people feel R. Kelly was railroaded and done wrong. And some of the things that happened in his case was definitely done wrong. But dog, you got to also think the man beat his case in 2008 and got away. I am going to say this for the record. When you beat them people, you take your black ass somewhere and you do not come back. Because they do not like that. And I understand that people are going to say Shabazz has some racism shit, but in black America, with white America, they do not want to see a black man win. The system is not designed for a black man having power. When you have the balls, the gumption, and the power, know-how, and skills to beat them at their own game, you better remember one thing. If you come back, nigga, we are going to serve you. And they're going to use every dirty tactic in the book to make sure your ass don't get away again. Look at fucking OJ. Y'all can sit there and think whatever you want to. I seen somebody on Twitter say, I got a thing against women and I got a thing against white women and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I got a thing against women. I got a thing against the female who posted that. I don't have a thing against all white women. I got a thing against that white woman. And you see how they try to play word games. And I just use someone on Twitter as an example to show you the mentality of how they try to attack us. And they do it in the court system, because if she can have her way and put out the narrative that Shabazz is anti-women and Shabazz is anti-white women, now you can discredit what I'm saying when I'm saying it right now. But that's not how it is. See, there's always an after part to what the first part actually was. You, as in you, have to be strong enough to stand up and defend the after part with your words and your actions. R.Kelly wasn't strong enough to defend the after part because he did not leave. Sometimes you take a win and run. You cannot become invincible. You cannot become the person who feels like, I beat him so I could do it again. That Teflon Don shit is some comic books, because the real Teflon Don that I knew about was called John Gotti. John Gotti had beat the government 2 times. The third time he went in front of him was as a result of him being on the Daily News in New York. And he called himself Teflon Don. You know what the government did? Okay, Teflon. They took away the lawyer that he won with 2 times. That was a major, severe blow. And the third time in a federal court, they gave him life. The man passed in jail. That applied for a white man, an Italian man, the mafia. How long do you think it was going to be before they made that same shit apply to a black man with power, talented, with a voice? R. Kelly is perhaps one of the most talented black men to ever grace a stage. He wrote, he composed, he sang. That is a threat to white America. That's a threat to black America, if you want to know the truth, because niggas is going to be jealous of that. So when you have those type of skills and characteristics behind you, when you have that type of energy that you come in with, you don't think there's going to be something that wants to defeat that? You're not going to be able to continue to play in these people's faces and they just going to say, we can't touch them. It's not true. Shit, I read an article a long time ago where Oprah keeps a certain amount of money in her house in the event that something goes wrong, because she knows as a black woman, as a black person, if you piss the wrong people off, they are going to come to get you, and they are going to take everything that you have, and there ain't going to be shit you can do about it. That is one of the plights of being black. Had someone said that to R. Kelly, we wouldn't be here. Had someone said, do not open the door for the Lisa Van Allens, for the Rashondas, the Sparkles, the Freemans, the Azriels, the Joycelins, we wouldn't be here. The truth of the matter is R. Kelly opened up those doors himself. The sad undertone is nobody got in the way of him opening them doors. I would have lost my job saying to him, son, you can't do that. You can't even have that mentality. And the reason why I would have lost my job is because I would have had the insight and the foresight to know that if I allow you to make these mistakes, you are actually jeopardizing my future, because when they get you, there is no me, because I depend on you for me to make money. Nobody wanted to step up and take that. It's as simple as the ideology or the saying, everybody want to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga. That's just the truth of it. Y'all ain't gonna like that. I get it. But let me tell you something. With the truth, I really don't give a fuck who like it and who don't. Because I'm not here to make friends. At the end of the day, my concern is black people. So I'm going to just tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. It's too many of us being told what we want to hear. And as a result, when we want to hear some shit, look where it ends up getting us. Because R. Kelly is going to sit in the cell for a very long time, and there are going to be 1 million people to write him, to tell him they railroaded you. You were not wrong. That is the wrong message, son. I don't give a fuck. That's the wrong message. You need to implant in that man that I am going to stand with you and we are going to rock with you, but you need to correct your goddamn problems. That's a real friend. All that other shit is fake. And all you niggas who think like that is the reason why he's in jail. Because everybody that was in his circle thought just like you. You ain't got no problem, son. What you doing is perfectly okay. Shit, I didn't see nothing. And the shit just caught up to him. Yo, I'm coming this weekend. I feel like I got into a preacher stance and I don't really want to be a preacher. Yo, at the end of the day, for me, man means responsibility. And sometimes that responsibility is standing up in the face of adversity. And what allows you to stand up in the face of adversity is having the perseverance, the patience, and the know-how to do what you need to do to win. And you apply that shit to everything, even when don't nobody else want to apply it. Because sometimes winning is lonely, dog. Everybody can't go. And that don't apply in entertainment. That's just apply in life. If you are the winning person in your family, if you are the person that everybody runs to when they have a problem, what the fuck do you do when you have a problem? That's lonely. See, because they not going to understand. They only understand that you're the person to help them. But you understand that they're not the people to help you. Winning is about honesty to yourself. It's no different than telling my son, you can lie to your mama, you can lie to the judge, you can lie to Jesus Christ, but nigga, you better not motherfucking lie to me because I am going to be here to fight for you regardless to if you are guilty or not because you are my son and I love you. Do you understand? Do y'all understand real shit like that? Or you want to understand some fake shit? Because you're going to be sitting around understanding and listening to these fake ass motherfuckers sit on these platforms and tell you a bunch of bullshit and co-sign Jennifer Bonjean talking about an appeal. An appeal could be in 20 motherfucking years. Jennifer Bonjean's whole claim to fame is getting people who were wrongfully accused out of jail. Some of those people have sat in jail fighting and maintaining their innocence for 30 goddamn years. But you niggas is ready to say, we're going to get back on appeal. Nigga, win. Larry Hoover she is co-counsel on Larry Hoover's case. And Larry Hoover's been fighting to get out of jail, ADFX Max Florence, Colorado for the last 20 goddamn years. You niggas is simply so simple-minded that you really sit there and listen to this lady tell you, but we're going to come back on appeal. We're going to come back in January. Ladies, stop. But guess what? You really can't be mad at her for being what she is because she don't know no better. And the crazy thing about sometimes people really believe the bullshit that they be saying because they don't know no better. You have to be wise enough to know better. You want me to tell you a better one? And I'm going to stand on this. You got to be black. You understand that? Sometimes you got to pull out the nigga card. Because all that passive bullshit will get you fucked. And until we understand that, we're not going to make progress. Until we understand that sometimes niggas do fucked up things and we have to hold them accountable for it, we're going to be fucked up. Everybody ain't going to make it. Everybody is not going to win. But you do not turn your back because a person lost. You still fight for what's right, but you have to accept the truth. And whoever don't like and don't understand, I don't really give a fuck. Because my truth is my truth. Your truth is your truth. And right now, I have to decipher and I have to get through me finding my own truth, dog. Part of that was me going to Fashion Week this week. And I'm not a fashion designer, but I can use some of the mentality, the energy in the air that was in that goddamn club to motivate me to excel elsewhere. I wasn't going to be a Debbie Downer and say, yo, I'm not going there. I'm not no designer. What the fuck I give a fuck about Marc Jacobs for? Fuck Madonna. This, that. Yo, that is so fucking, that's negative. You have to see how you can benefit. And sometimes just being around a person talking the right shit is a benefit because that's what'll motivate your ass to get up, get out, and get something. Otherwise, your ass will be sitting on YouTube, posting in Shabazz, calling me all kinds of names, and at the end of the day, you ain't going no motherfucking where. R.Kelly is in a physical jail. You need to figure out how to get out of the mental one. Until next time, my niggas, have a nice day.